target of the program was to implement a BI strategy, to do the implementation and the rollouts in the 3 companies, starting from a non-mature BI environment. Almost every standard process was involved.
So what we discovered in 2007 was a BI environment that was really in an initial state. And this was because mainly in terms of vision and strategy, that there was not really a vision and not really a strategy driven or pushed by the senior management. BI reports were mainly managed locally everywhere in the organization.
2007 was a year of awareness. 2008 was implementation. 2009 we had to go live and there was again an implementation. 2010 was a big rollout we had. Within the IT department we decided to define a special structure to support the SAP project. So we call that department ESS, Enterprise Shared Services, and one part of that was the BI team. The BI team started defining the strategy, the BI strategy. For the organization, we defined in each company a BICC, a BI Competence Center. The responsibility of the BICC was to bring BI to the business, to gather requirements, to create reports, to do the testing, training.
Since this year, we started also with the integration of business objects, and we have now Crystal reports running and Excelsius dashboards. And the next phase, we will see what we can do with the other tools also. But mainly, at this moment, the end users use the BEX analyzer and the web reports via a portal. Now, if you look at the approach, the big thing in this program was that the BI had to go live together with the ERP system. And that's one thing. And the other thing is that they did not really have a culture for BI. It was in a very initial state, their maturity. So it was really difficult to define a scope. That's why we started first with the definition of the BI strategy. So we really bought us in at the CEO, CIO, and so on, and they pushed then the choices down through the organization. Almost 6 months we spent time on awareness creation. By giving presentations, demos, we did lots of interviews to define the maturity. We managed to get the BI strategy approved by the CFOs, CEOs and the CIO. And we started with the scope definition for the part of NMBS, in fact. Challenge was that in 2007, BI was only seen as a kind of a reporting tool used by expert users. And we had to create awareness that it's much more than that. But what did we achieve so far is, within the NMBS group, we defined a BI strategy for each company, in fact. We have now a single version of the truth within each company. We have 3 data warehouses with reporting tools on top. We have within each company common KPIs and common reports. We have almost everything that sits in a company is sitting now in the data warehouse and can be used for reporting. 2.5 years is a lot of time, but implementing this in the public sector in such a big company of 40,000 employees is really a challenge and an achievement. The next step now is we have now the data warehouses. We have lots of operational data, but so far we did not really do performance management. That's in fact the next step.
So Tecteo is a group with 4 different branches: RESA, VU, Tecteo Invest, and Tecteo Energy. And these branches have corresponds to different activities. The first one, RESA, is actually a grid operator. This is exactly the same business like Eandis or Infrax on the Flemish side of the country, or Sibelga in the region of Brussels. So meaning on the IT side, that also quite a lot has happened. On the electricity side, we had to implement a new clearinghouse. We managed to do it in 8 months, which is a very short time frame if you compare to others. We also had to merge the different systems because, as you could see in the previous slides, we took over actually 8 network operators in Wallonia and had to merge the architecture with Brutele. So meaning 8 plus Tecteo plus Brutele, 10 different activities, 10 ways to charge the customers, 10 types of products and so on that we had to merge in one system. And we decided to use SAP CRM and SAP ISU for doing it. We internalized the call center, so also quite many IT projects in the background. We had to build and truly build an IT organization, merging the different companies, the different activities, the different resources. And we developed an SAP FICO and logistic systems system at the group level. As a result of this project, the best summarized that we could make regarding the project is this graph. It shows basically that all these customers, so when you see here roughly 175,000 euros, in December 2009, this amount of money has been charged for the first time to those customers. So we used this BI project to improve the business processes, to improve the way the people were recording information, to improve the quality of the data. And this will be a continuous process that we will continue during the next few years. We were blind. We didn't even know that these customers were not charged. We didn't even know that her employees were not following the right processes. Sometimes these processes were not even known by the people on the ground. So as a consequence of the project, we had to improve the way the people were trained. We had to set up procedures to check the quality of the work they were doing.
Mm-hmm. What is your main user group? Who are using your BI solution?
At the moment, this tool is not heavily distributed in the organization. We use it mainly for controlling the processes, but the target is, of course, to recruit people so that centrally we manage the system, we manage the way the data are architectured, let's say, and that we distribute the reporting into the organization. That actually the business is running the reports.
If you were blind and didn't know you were losing this money, how did you get the project approved?
We started very small with few reports and basically together with the financial department. So showing the value with few reports and then building on this these first steps.
Accountability is a little bit in this presentation the key word. We have to be honest, at first sight we are quite at ease, saying that the Federal Public Service of Finance works in a monopolistic based environment. But yet, you see in the newspaper when something goes wrong, Immediately it's spread all over news and newspapers. The management committee has to carry the can, we call it. They are held accountable for the different stakeholders. Stakeholders meaning our employees themselves, but also members of parliament, pressure groups, the whole public itself. So we are held accountable. And therefore the Federal Public Service of Finance adopted a project-based way of working, saying that in the past we were giving a flat fee of money, saying, okay, here is your money you can work on for the execution of your projects. Now we say no, it's changed. So if you have a certain idea to perform better within the Federal Public Service, the first thing that you want, of course, is money, but money is only given when you have a scope, deliverables, planning and risk. The basic question, the key question in this BI story is, of course, how can we serve our stakeholders' need for information? There are more and more, the public is hungry for information, and even more they want it now. They even want, when the question is posed today, they wanted the answer yesterday. So they need to get an instant view. The first solution would be like saying this. We can run reports like that. As I've told you, there are 225 projects running on $80 billion euro. We can produce lists like this, saying that, okay, for project A, it's a project within, for example, tax returns. It's governed by Mr. X. It has some delays on the planning, but hey, the deliverables will be on time. So we give it a status of green. So technically we have two conceptual models, meaning project and project details, translated in two data marts. I will show them afterwards just to run them through. And each data mart has its own fact table, resulting in two levels of granularity. We have coarse-grained. Why? Because there are some things that you would like to see measured on project level, not immediately on detail, but there are things that you would like to see measured on project level. We have a fine-grained aspect as well, meaning what are measured on details. And it also results in two different OLAP cubes. Oh my God, something is asking an ad hoc report. Data quality and reliability augmented due to the decrease of manual labor. Why? If someone has to make a quick, certainly an ad hoc report, a lot of things might go wrong. So we say data quality and reliability augmented. Top management is finally getting their focus on strategy. Is this running easy? Of course not, because they are doing something that they should have done in the past, but they didn't have enough time for it. So top management was focused on strategy. Our middle management, we have to admit it, they were underrated in the past. What they do now is something completely different due to the past, being setting and follow-up goals that are one-handed embedded in the strategic goals, but on the other hand they are tangible, they are specific, they are quite realistic on their own level. So they finally can manage their own service and yet supplying detailed information towards top management. And the employee level, that was quite something new. They were saying, okay, my commissioner wants to be within 5 years more performance on, for example, tax returns, less fault march. Okay, making them involved in the choice and selection of indicators that are one-on-one linked to their work.
What are your major achievements in the last 12 months?
At this moment, we have to be honest, it was a little bit keeping up and running the indicators that, or the KPIs or whatever that's running, because like everybody else, we're waiting for new initiatives. Even our commissioner today within the Federal Public Service of Finance is not nominated for 100%. He's doing what we call a service at this moment. So the last 12 months is still working on the last 5-year cycle of management. So it will change within the near future. But no, at this moment, no new initiatives are taken.